Why do you think you're the most caricatured couple in Britain?
I think it's because people think that they know us, you know, they see pictures of us out, and I think that they paint a picture of us that is very easy to imitate. I mean, to be honest with you, if I wasn't me, and I picked up newspapers and saw us every day and read the kind of things that are written about us, I'd probably want to take the piss out of us.
You stopped swearing?
To be perfectly honest. Sorry.
Princess?
Sorry, babe.
It'd be all fair game, aren't you? You love it.
When it's harmless, I think that's okay. But when it gets too personal, I don't like it. When it's just someone dressing up as you, it's, you know, it's harmless.
You doing that corner on the cob?
I know. I'm going to look at this and cringe.
Have a cup of tea, please, Princess. Right, or do you decide when I have a cup of tea?
I'll tell you when you can have a cup of tea. I wear the trousers, don't forget.
Okay, sorry, Princess.
You never know. Anything could go wrong. People might not know it's actually today, think it's tomorrow or something stupid like that. And then I've got the embarrassment of having no one there.
But seriously, how many people do you think will turn up?
God knows. I hope there's a few. But the way I'm feeling, I don't want too many. But I hope there's a few, because it will get embarrassing if there's only 10 there. No, sorry, no kissing, sorry.
Thanks. It seems to just be this digitally massive thing on all the newspaper covers. But yeah, it's really strange to see him in the flesh.
Because I'm not going to be able to do everything.
You've got one to Darryl, one to Will, one to Jason, that's Sammy Tom.
Jesus Christ.
And how are you feeling at this stage in the publicity tour?
I'm not allowed to swear, but I'm knackered. I'm knackered. I don't feel well. But it's been a good day. A lot of people have been happy. It's nice. It's a nice feeling you get when you get so many people turn up to just get an autograph, really. Just get a squiggle on a piece of paper. Makes a lot of kids happy. Which is nice. Which makes me more happy than selling all these books. It gives me more pleasure. Now we're off home for a lemsip hot water bottle and steak and chips with beans.
I did worry because he didn't concentrate too much at school, only on the sports side of it. He just was so determined. Whenever you ask him, even at a really young age, you know, what are you going to do when you leave school? Whoever asked him, he only ever said that he was going to play for Manchester United. There was never another answer.
He wasn't a normal lad because he knew what he wanted straight away. Whereas his mates just say, oh yeah, we do this, we do that. David didn't. David knew what he wanted football.
My baby's asleep. okay?
Not me, darling. Not me.
Well, you're the man in the match, aren't you?
I don't know about that. I scored a goal, but still lost. How it goes.
This is what I got for my birthday from David. You grow, what have I got? Cress, sunflowers, and some other thing.
That's your favourite
It's
present,
very
isn't it?
sort of close to the earth type of present, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm an earth mother, I'm telling you. At the moment, I've put all the soil in water. You have to put the soil in water for 3 hours, and then you put the seeds in the pot.
That soil's been in the water
then.
for about 10 hours.
I haven't had time to take it out yet.
Are you a sort of green-fingered type anyway?
Only if I've got green nail on.
So what the game was like for you? It was one of the best goals you've ever scored.
I was pleased to score it actually, even though we lost. You know, it's nice to get a goal any time, but it doesn't make it any easier. It's still disappointing for us at the end of the day. You know, it couldn't have come in at any better time in the game, but at the end of the day, you know, you need. I am sort of my own critic, and you know, if I do things or I should have done things in a game, then it sort of plays on my mind after. You know, if we've drawn 0-0 and I should have scored, then that plays on my mind and annoys me. It's my goal. It's just as disappointing watching it now as it was playing in it earlier. Really. But it's one of them things, really. It's gone now, we've just got to concentrate on the league.
He went up to Bobby Charlton School when he was 10. When he was 11, he wanted to go back. So he went back for another week, and he actually won the competition that week. And then they had a final, which was around about 5,000 kids throughout the country, from different parts of the country, in Manchester. Fortunate, David won it.
Actually couldn't find David. When they went to present him with the prizes at the end of it, they couldn't find David. And he was sat in a corner watching the telly, watching the Tottenham game. You know, everyone was calling for him to give him, you know, for the prizes. And there was he, sat in the corner watching the telly.
All right, listen up. We're lucky again. We're really, really lucky. Okay? It's David Beckham's come to see us and he's giving you a chance to ask him a few questions. All right?
No silly ones.
No daft ones. All right? Okay, so who's got a question for David?
Beckham, what did you feel like when United won that Premiership?
Was you amazed when you scored from the halfway line?
Is Alex Ferguson like a good boss, or is he a bit?
Why can't you take free kicks with your left foot? If you didn't play for United, what other club would you want to play for? How old were you when you first started being a footballer? What was it like scoring from the halfway line? How many goals have you scored? How much money do you get for being a footballer?
How much money? Not much. Not much. It's hard
My dad
work.
said that you get £100.
That's what I get. £100.
Has anybody got any David Beckham jokes?
Go on, Mitch,
Big
do
City
it.
fan with a David Beckham joke. Hey, it's got to be a good one. Is it a good one?
Yeah.
Go on then.
When David Beckham went to the hairdressers...
I walk in the shop, say hello to Tyler, well, still got my Walkman on, and sit down in a chair, still got these big earphones on.
The man who was doing his hair, he said, take your headphones off. And he said,
I can't. He said, well,
I can't do your hair if you don't take them off.
and I said, well, I'm sorry, I'm not taking them off, I really can't take them off. It's a matter of life or death, I'm not doing it.
And then while he was cutting the hair, he fell off.
So he picks the earphones up and he hears his voice saying,
Breathe in,
breathe out, breathe in.
breathe out.
I like that one.
It really irritates me because he's not thick. He's a really kind, caring, and he's actually a very deep personality, but people never see that. You know, that's why I married him. I couldn't be with someone that bored me. You know, I need someone that's mentally stimulating, which I consider David to be. But then I see the completely different side of him. So nervous about him. He's got Parkinson this evening.
You only get your handful of people that's been on it and gone on it and been asked to go on it. So I suppose it is an honour. It is an honour because he's a legend sort of in his own right, really.
But you know he'll try and catch you out.
Yeah, but everyone tries to catch me out. I mean, most of the time I get caught out.
No, you don't.
Tori's afraid that he might trick you with some complicated question.
No, you know what? He'll probably throw in a couple of long words that I won't even understand.
Which under pressure?
No, not even under pressure. I'll just have to combine the little words that he says before that, and then just make something up.
Because you make yourself sound stupid and you're really not.
I am stupid. Everyone thinks I'm stupid.
So that doesn't mean that you are stupid. They're all lovely.
So am I.
So what happened in early teenage years when your mates are going off, getting, drunk on a Saturday night and whatever? What did you used to do?
Again, I used to get a little bit of stick for that because my friends at school used to go out to parties on a Saturday night and down the corner shop with a bottle of cider. And I used to be tucked up watching Match of the Day with my dad.
Hey, good boy. You get any complaints? You can't. You can't have that.
He's never been one of these dads that's been pushy, you know, that shouts and honours and swears at me on the side of the pitch. You know, if he's got something to say, he'll say it to me in the car on the way home. And he'll make me cry on the way home, instead of in front of everyone. But, no, we've got that respect for each other, I think. Yeah.
Can he still make you cry on the way home?
No. Because I give whatever he gives to me, I'll give it back. But my dad would always, even if I had a great game, my dad would tell me. But mediocre games, he sort of criticises me. He's one of my biggest critics.
When he was younger. I mean, we spent hours with his crossing over the park.
Listen, just telling you, make sure you celebrate, right? Because he's a special one.
Getting corners, and I'd stand on the centre spot saying, right, hit me. And he would do it all the time. And I mean, he used to get fed up. He used to get really sort of angry with me, but he would still do it. I take a bit of credit myself. We always talked about his game whenever he played. If he had a good game, we used to say to him, "You done well, boy, but what about that little ball you should have perhaps played inside or chipped it down the wing? You see the player that was in space, why didn't you do that?" And he'd say, "Well, I couldn't see him," but I say, "Well, that's what I'm saying about getting your head up looking, and that's what I say about your control." And he'd go quiet and say, "Yeah, Dad, you was right, perhaps I should have played it." But if you give him, say, how good you were, "Oh, you was brilliant," what has he got to go for?
Sometimes I think about it at nights and just think sort of how proud he must be. Not that I'm being big-headed, but you know, like, for a dad to support a team and go watch a team and all their life, and then their son grow up to play for that team and win European Cups for that team. It's something that any dad would love.
I wasn't there, Sandra was there. Sandra said, "You look like you enjoyed that." And he went, "Yeah, it was a good game, mate." She said, "Lucky you played well." So I said, "Why's that?" He said, "Well," Sandra said, "the Man United scout has approached us and wants you to go up to Manchester for trials." And she said that he literally jumped 10 foot in the air and said, "That's what I want," and just started crying.
He just
so
broke
it
down.
was just
Absolutely broke down. He just didn't know what to do, you know, he just The tears was, well, I couldn't believe it. Because he always used to say, oh, I don't think Man United are going to find me down here. You know, they don't come down here to look. I remember the day leaving him up there, it was awful. I think I cried all the way home from Manchester. I turned back and saw him at the door, you know, with the other lady who's, at the time, the digs he was in. And he used to ring every night. I could tell by his voice. I could always tell if he was a bit down or, you know, a bit upset. But to be fair, he struggled through it.
When we saw him play, he was just a scrawny little kid, 11 years of age, and he was playing, when he came up, he was playing with under-13s. He was doing a bit of training at Arsenal, doing a bit of training at Tottenham. West Ham is the team nearest to him, were trying to get him. So in that kind of competition, there's very seldom a boy will leave London, unless, like David, he was a United supporter.
Myself and Mark Hughes, I can always remember in West Ham's dressing room, we had an away game, and this little skinny lad, who was about 12, 13-year-old, came into the dressing room with his father, and Alex Ferguson was introducing him to all the first team staff. And me and Sparky both turned around to each other and said, this kid must be a player.
I didn't think that he was anything special, really, until a bit later on. You know, maybe when I was about 18 or 19, it was constant, you know. Different people wanted interviews, wanted to photograph him, and can we come in the house and photograph his bedroom and all things like this. And he always practiced his autograph, his name. Oh yeah.
I didn't really know anything about him. I actually met him, I was doing an interview, all of us girls were, with 90 Minutes magazine, and they were going through some flashcards and saying, you know, do you fancy this one, do you fancy this one? And I picked him out and liked him, and that's all I knew about him.
I've had a couple of girlfriends in Manchester in the past. One long relationship. A few years from it, Victoria.
I was actually with Melanie C, and we'd gone up to watch a game.
It was at the Chelsea game.
You could see they were very attracted to one another from the start.
And they met in the Players' Lounge.
Victoria came in with their manager, and he came over to us and he said, David, I'd like to introduce Victoria.
Just kind of went and started chatting to him.
That's when they swapped phone numbers.
Louise phoned me. I think Victoria got out to a petrol station. I wanted to buy something. Louise said, Victoria's given her phone number to a footballer.
That was the start of it. The ball was rolling, so to speak.
Yeah, I had this phone call from my daughter saying she'd met a footballer. I know what I thought was, oh God.
And the rest is history.
God knows how many people are going to be there this afternoon. But it was the same yesterday. You know, the day before yesterday, I was in playing at Wembley in the Charity Shield, and it was my turn to be, you know, up there. And then the day after, it's Victoria's turn. So it's always, you know, we take turns, which is nice. We both need to be, you know, we both miss it. We would miss it if we weren't involved in that situation. Even over the summer, you know, if we're not sort of doing things and going and doing things, then we get bored, and we always like to be sort of at that stage where we can go out and perform every now and again. And that's both our personalities. There's Victoria. We're going for a drink. Wicked. I thought that was our car.
When my signing was taking place, I hadn't seen David for about 2 weeks because he'd been on pre-season training. So he came to the signing with me, and of course children were asking for his autograph. And obviously making the children happy is one of the most important things to us. They're the ones that are going out and making us who we are. And then the press called me
desperate. I think Victoria just went back to the old-fashioned way of doing signings. She wanted to go out and she wanted to meet the people and to sign the singles for the people that were buying them, you know. At the end of the day, that's what a lot of people used to do a year, 2, 3 years ago. Victoria still likes doing it, you know. She was always going to get her critics, but at the end of the day, I think she showed a lot of people what she can do. You know, this is going to take absolutely ages. Do you know that? There's thousands out there. Cheers. It is hard because we're both so busy, and trying to fit that into each other's schedules is hard, because you know, she does spend a lot of time sometimes in America. We haven't got time to go home, have we? We haven't got time to go home, have we? No. Because you don't need them, have you? You know, nothing's going to get in the way of our marriage, and nothing's going to spoil what we've got. Anything. Even though, you know, we don't spend as much time now as we'd probably like to.
I'm quite bolshy, and I can be quite moody. And 1 minute I'm up there, and then the next minute I'm down there. I'm a bit like a roller coaster, really, with my emotions. So that kind of keeps him on his toes.
The question everyone wants answered, Victoria, is who actually wears the trousers?
Matey boy over there is very, very, very dominating. He does wear the trousers, but people don't see that. They see this quiet, shy, butter wouldn't melt, I'll let her deal with it.
Yeah, but you must like him that way, or you would have tried to change him.
No, I need someone to keep me in line.
What I think that he's had to control a little bit is the publicity machine from Victoria's side has been interfering with his life. And I says, you know, you can't have that. You've got to control your situation. You're a footballer, it's different. Your wife's job is different from yours. There's nothing worse when you pick it up here and say, Christ, where is he now? You know what I mean?
He likes his clothes. He's his own person. If David wants to wear a bandana, that's up to him. If he wants to wear a sarong. And to be fair, I mean, he phoned me up when that was coming out. And he said, oh, Dad, I've been photographed in a sarong. And I said, what the bloody hell's that? And he went, it's one of them wraparound things. I went, you Jesse? I said, you look like a blooming tart. He said, it's in the papers. So I went, oh God. So I went and bought the papers. And to be fair, I thought it looked quite smart. I rather liked it.
This looks as if it's going to be a good shoot, so I'm looking forward to this one actually. I like coming to these sort of things because you can order in pizzas and McDonald's and someone goes and gets it for you.
One version of the story surrounding your head shape that I heard was that somebody who looked very much like you had been spotted near to a European football club.
The manager got a phone call once saying that one of his friends or someone he knew phoned him up and said, David Beckham sat in the airport lounge with me here opposite me. I'm looking right at him. And obviously I wasn't, but it was obviously a lookalike. So it got me in trouble a little bit.
So what happened?
Phoned me up and said, where the FNL are you? And I laughed. I thought he was winding me up, but he wasn't. And I said, I'm just going past the Trafford Centre. Sell this hair if you want it. I better get about a tenner for it.
We really just had this idea to do 2 shoots, 2 covers, 2 interviews. One that's purely about the sportsman and one that's purely about the man.
Fine. Just as long as, I mean, the thing about the cover is that it's got to be, you know, you've got to be able to see the features.
When we were talking about launching a sports magazine and, you know, you want sportsmen on the cover of your sports magazine, we talked a lot about who we could do, and it came down to who is the most famous sportsman in the country, and across any sport it is David, really. If you say name a British sportsman that everyone's kind of interested in and they're equally interested in their life off the pitch as on the pitch, it's unusual to find a sportsman who has such kind of iconic status beyond the stadium, really. So he is quite special.
Head down a little, and now look at me, that's great, that's absolutely perfect.
Wearing?
Yes, it's very wearing. It's hard work. It's getting there though. Not long left. I wouldn't like to be, have a model sort of life, really. Not that I'm saying that I could be a model, but, if put in that position or given the choice, I don't think I'd choose that.
What is this, David?
It's a new tattoo I'm thinking about having. I wanted a new tattoo for ages, but I just couldn't not think. I've known what I've wanted because I wanted something to do with Victoria's name. And I think it'd look, we've both agreed that it'd look a bit tacky if I had Victoria just in English down there. So I've gone for Arabic.
Why Arabic?
Not for any reason, it's quite arty writing. I wanted something different. I tried it in Chinese writing the other night, it looked very good, Victoria was very impressed. I copied it off a Chinese menu. So I probably had fried rice and salt and pepper ribs and hot and sour soup on my arm, instead of Victoria.
David's clearly devoted to you, but he spends most of his time in the north and you spend most of your time down here in the south at your parents' house.
We're apart a lot more than we're together. But then we're both really passionate about what we do. When I first had Brooklyn, I spent 6 months living up in Manchester, not working, not doing anything. And it was great because I was with David and Brooklyn, but I don't enjoy not doing anything. I have to work. I love my job. I love writing songs. I love performing. I love having a goal. And every day I think that I wish that I'd wake up in the morning and not want to work anymore. I wish that I'd be happy to be a housewife and have more children and just hang around the house all day.
We've made it work over the last 3.5 years, and that's why we're so strong as a couple.
So we've got to do cooking, shaving. I'd like to do something with you with all your CDs all around, maybe lying down or something and going through them or whatever, because obviously there's all the music things that you're into. Let's try the shaving thing. If you don't like it, we can knock it out for approval, because we've never done the bathroom here. The bathroom here is really cool. Yeah.
So should we start in here with the music stuff?
Well, let's have a walk through and just see technically what our problems are going to be lighting wise. Okay.
Next to a sort of locker room type picture here, couldn't we?
We just do exactly what he's doing there.
Yeah.
And just do something here. Yeah?
Fantastic. Okay. Yeah, lovely.
That's good.
We'll get some gear and we'll set up. Be about 15-20 minutes, alright?
Okay, terrific. Okay, cheers, David.
I just got to the point where I'm just fed up with it. I don't do many of them, and I don't get like this a lot, but it's come to a point where I miss my wife and I want her here with me, and she's working, she's busy. Nothing I can do about it. And I've got about 20 people in the apartment walking about, putting lights up and wanting coffees and teas. Not you, but it's just a pain.
Lift your head and go, lovely, spaghetti.
She's got this thing about the smoke.
shots of the wife approves are the ones where the spaghetti's not hanging out your mouth.
I've never seen you depressed before, really.
No, I don't really get... Well, I do at times, but I snap myself out of it by thinking of Brooklyn or Victoria, or thinking when I'm going to see them both.
Okay, David, that's if you get a kind of... Just can't... That's just over to your face. That's cool. Like that. That's cool. That's great. That's nice. That's nice. You can see what some of the CDs are.
The new ones, actually.
Got that done here.
You both say you don't like the attentions of the press, but actually you thrive on it, don't you?
At times, yeah. At times. There's times when you like the attention, there's times that you don't. But I think it's part and parcel of being in the spotlight. You know, you've got to take the rough with the smooth. If you enjoy the good stuff that's written about you, you know, you've got to take the bad stuff. And I've had a fair bit.
David had been ill overnight and David was on his way back to Manchester.
At that point in time, I felt it was my job and my right to be with my son when he wasn't well.
He didn't turn up for the train. We did a massive game on Sunday.
He wanted to come home because when Brooklyn woke up, he wanted to be with him.
David didn't really understand how important, you know, missing a training session was.
My son wasn't well early hours of that morning, and that was the reason I stayed with him.
If he feels he's right, then he's right. You know, he is that way inclined.
You know, all he wanted was me or Victoria.
I think he should have phoned me in the first place.
When he gets a bee in his bonnet, he will do what he wants to do.
And then I'd heard that Victoria was out shopping that day.
He says I was gallivanting around London.
You know, I thought that was unfair.
I went to Marks and Spencer's to get some lunch for Brooklyn.
It was confrontation time.
The manager was seeing me taking the morning off, but then Victoria being out that night.
It became an argument, and, you know, I decided to leave him out because of it.
It could have been all sort of hushed up.
Some people said I was wrong, some people said I was right. There was debates after it for 2 weeks. If you're in a job where you are working under a boss as determined as he is, you know, if he sees anything that's going to affect the team or going to affect the player in his mind, then he'll try and do something about it, which has happened sometimes in my case. But players have learned over the years, if you get on the wrong side of him, it's not a nice side to see of him.
You have entered a protected area and you are under surveillance. The authorities have been notified.
When I have got something I'm worried about, I always go and talk to Gary, because I'm used to Gary's my best friend. Where's your wooden spoons, guys?
Pardon?
Wooden spoons.
In that one. They were in that one.
We're totally different. Gary would rather go home and have a quiet night in, and where I'd rather be dashing about.
That's a piss that ain't a wooden spoon. I swear.
Are you very familiar with your kitchen again?
No, not really. There's the only kitchen in the world without a wooden spoon.
Do you know Gary only heats the rooms that he lives in?
He's been reading too many magazines.
We used to share rooms when we used to go away with the teams. It got to the point where Gary was going to bed at 9 o'clock, 9:30, and I was watching the telly, still awake on the phone to Victoria at 11:30, 12, and then he'd be up at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'd want to lie until 10, 11. So it didn't really work out, so
You're
he
like
chucked
the
me
old
out.
couple.
Yeah, like the old married couple.
Tremendous pasta, isn't it? That's the new. Extra eat it all, what?
No, you don't have to eat it all.
Okay. How's it, John? Thanks, I won't eat them.
Don't eat it all because then you won't be able to read the name.
If David cooks for you here, that you think that might be perceived as an effeminate thing to do. But if you owned a string of restaurants, that wouldn't be an effeminate thing to do.
Yeah, but it'd be okay if David was cooking for Bex. That's burning. Bex says that's burning.
What's burning?
That pan there.
It's got potatoes in it.
What's that burning?
Huh?
It just says it just flamed off.
What's burning?
Probably not burning. That underneath, see that one?
Huh?
What is it, that?
Flame?
It's supposed to be like that. It's okay in cooking for me, but not getting filmed cooking for me. So nobody knows about it, you know what I mean?
You're juggling with that. It's just can't get out of it.
Do you think it's feminine coming around and cooking for me?
No, I think it's friendly.
What big opinion? Friendly.
I don't just come round to cook for you.
I know you don't. No. But this is how this is.
I'm staying here, that's why I'm cooking.
I know you're staying here, and don't get me wrong, you don't come around here and cook every night, hand, do you?
Often.
Well, you have done so far, but... If Victoria goes away, then I ask him to stay, and he stayed about 3 or 4 times now for about a week. Although he did stay with Victoria once, didn't he, for a couple of weeks?
Yeah. And Brooklyn.
And Brooklyn, yeah. Right, so it's Brooklyn there now. Get rid of him.
Very nice.
So is your home a bit of a refuge generally? Do other players come and stay if they
No. No. Nobody stays there. Just him. Why? It's not hot, do you mean?
No, I wondered whether your home is somewhere that people come to if they're
It's like the Priory.
I actually was travelling back in the plane from Brussels.
I was in the stadium. I was commentating for ITV.
We were in New York
In a bar.
with the Spice Girls in a bar watching it.
It's difficult to describe, really. It all happened so quickly.
The captain announced that England were in extra time.
The challenge came in. He went down. He flicked his leg out in a retaliation, if you like, and just a get off me type thing. It wasn't really a nasty thing. It wasn't a violent thing. He was never going to hurt the lad. And the lad's reaction, it's not the reaction you would expect from a professional football player, but that's what happens nowadays. And the referee, you just knew he was going to send him off. I knew he was going to send him off.
I don't think we realised exactly what was happening. He kicked this guy and was sent off, and we were thinking, oh, that didn't seem fair.
I didn't realise how serious it was, what he'd actually done. And to this day, not that I know a lot about football, I think that there was a lot more to blame than David.
I didn't think it was enough to get sent off for. I just think it was a reaction, not a good one, but a reaction to something. There was no malice in it. He wasn't going to break anyone's leg or anything like that.
Everybody in employment like that looked round at me. They all like that. Looked round and ran something like that. Not motionless, not saying, not showing a crack at all,
On the pitch, just put my arm around him, said, I don't know what you say. And I won't say unlucky, just basically, it's happened. Put my arm around him, he walks off into the top, and he'll probably be more lonely in the dressing room. It's a lonely feeling. That walk off a pitch feels like, it might only be 30 yards, but it feels like 30 miles.
When he came in after the Argentina game, yes, we were all sad, but I think some people, obviously, what he'd done, and he was more sadder than anybody, and he just needed some comfort, some love.
I don't think anybody was prepared for what happened after that.
It wasn't until, I think, the next day that we realised just what the repercussions were going to be.
And I says, you get the blazes out of the country. Just get whatever you're going to get now.
He'd gone to see Victoria in America for a couple of weeks.
You won't believe after things that went on.
The Sun newspaper hanged him outside a pub, put a sarong on a dummy and a headscarf, and hanged him outside a pub.
We had a phone tapped.
The Mirror had a pull-out dartboard with David's head in the middle.
We were followed to the airport.
He was the most hated man in Britain.
Everybody just thought it was so unjust at the time.
But these things happen in football. This wasn't something that was new. People make mistakes on football pitches, and luckily for David at that time, it was his turn to suffer in that match.
It's not crime to make a mistake. It's a crime not to learn from it. And I think where David's been really special in that is he's learned from that.
I actually think that he went to the World Cup a boy and came home a man.
Yeah, I do think about it at times. I think about what could have happened if it hadn't have happened, or, you know, what might have happened. But it's something I've come to terms with.
So, England captain then?
I know, can you believe it? 2 years ago I was the most hated man by English fans. And now I'm England captain. Do you know, even if it is for just one game, you know,
Still amazing.
still amazing that I've been made England captain, 25 years old.
I'm just so proud of him. He's wanted this for a long, long time. He's always said, wouldn't it be amazing to be England captain? So, you know, it's just a dream come true to him. And I think he's quite shy, but I think he will really, really try and do the best that he can.
Fingers crossed the new manager coming in will make me captain, but I have to wait and see. But no one can ever take this away from me.
It's funny, you often talk about people taking things away from you.
Fame can be taken away from you as easy as it can be given to you. And a lot of celebrities forget that.
How? By not appearing in public or switching off?
No. I mean, your flavour of the moment. Everybody loves you one moment, but everybody can turn against you. You know, or in David's case, maybe not play him, or in my case, not buy my records.
We might still be famous for a couple of years after that, but then people start saying, oh, do you remember that David Beckham who used to play for that Man United, who used to be a good player, who used to be England captain just that once? It's scary in a way.
Is it? Are you afraid of that? Wouldn't you like the anonymity?
No, of course you're scared of it.
I'm going to enjoy it. You know, it's exciting to just play for England, but when you go into England, you know, obviously, you know, they're great players. Every player that comes into the squad is a good player and has got great ability. I think it is hard work because obviously you don't play with them, you know, week in and week out like you do when you're with your club side. So coming away with England, you have to sort of learn a lot of things about the people you're playing with in a short space of time.
The enormous learning curve that he's going through, I think is only going to help for him to first realise about himself, but then to obviously give to others. You know, I can see that I'm a better captain now than I was 10 years ago. And I think because he's learned through his experiences, then it's going to make him a great England captain. I'm sure he will be. I really am.
I just want to have a house, and I want to see my husband every night, and I want to have dinner with him every night, and I want us to wake up together every morning. I'd give anything for that, but that's not going to happen for a long, long time.
For you to have the perfect life that you both say you really want, something's got to give, hasn't it?
It has, but we both understand that we've got responsibilities in our work.
I think if either of us were to give up our careers, I think it would put, as much as it would be great to spend every day together, it would really put pressure
On the person that's giving it up.
on the individual. I think if I was to personally give up my career, I think I'd become quite bitter in a way, because I haven't achieved everything I want to achieve.
It's the same with me. If I wasn't playing football, then I'd miss walking out in front of 60, 70,000 people, and them people being there to watch me kick a football around.
I think whatever I do, people are always going to have a go. You know, whether I stay at Man United, they'll say, you know, he should have moved on, he should have done this, should have done that. But then if I go abroad or go somewhere else, you know, they'll turn around and say that I've gone for the money and gone for the wrong reasons. spent the best parts of my life in Manchester, doing what I love. When you're coming out of the change room, you're walking down to the tunnel, and you're sort of getting the buzz and the butterflies in the stomach. Not nervousness, but excitement. And then you're walking down the tunnel and you see the pitch. And as you're walking nearer to the pitch, you know, it rises up and you can see the fans. And you just know that there's 67,000 Man United fans wanting you to win. And that gives you goosebumps. Stepping out onto that pitch when you just know that all them people are there to see you play and to see you perform. And it's one of the best feelings ever. I think with the Man United fans, that's one of the things I'd miss most if I did go. They'd probably see, you know, the London lad coming up playing for their Man United. And they'd probably see me coming through and thinking, oh, wait a minute, he's a Londoner, he's a Tottenham fan, Arsenal fan. I've always wanted to play for Man United, and I think they knew that. So they've been behind me since I first started playing. Happy. At the end of the day, and my family are happy, then I'll stay where I am. And if things go well with the club with the contract, but you don't know, you can never say about that. So yeah, I'll have to wait and see what happens over the next few months, whether the club talk to me. I have to wait and see. Apparently I'm in a casino one night and in Manchester, and I go up to this machine and put some money in the slot, and down comes a can of Coke. So I've put some more money in, and down comes a can of Lilt. Then I put some more money in, and a can of iced tea comes down, and some bloke comes behind me and taps me on the shoulder and says, can I have a go? And I turn around to him innocently and say, can you not see I'm winning? I can't believe you're all laughing at these jokes, really enjoying it.